Hey kindergarten, it is Mrs. Shivani again from Citizenship Academy, and I am so excited to read you our next listening and learning story. So yesterday we learned about how we can help conserve the Earth's natural resources. Do you remember the 3 R's that we said we could work together as a team to help the Earth? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Remember, when we talk about reducing something, that means we're using less or fewer things that come from natural resources. And when we talk about reusing, we mean that we are using things over and over again, like the backside of a paper or a plastic water bottle, using it over and over again. And when we talk about recycling, it means we're throwing away certain items in a different bin that goes to a recycling center and then gets made into something new. So today we're going to focus a little bit more on recycling. Our topic of the day is recycle, recycle, recycle. And we recycle in our classrooms. Do you recycle at home? I wonder. At my house, I have a big, tall recycling can. It's yellow on top, and that is where I put all of my recycling items. And then once a week, the recycle truck comes and picks up all of my stuff and brings it to a recycling center. So there's a big process though. There's a process that happens, a series of steps once those items get to the recycling center. And that's what we're going to learn about today. So by the end of the story, you are going to be able to write about and draw one step in the recycling process. So you will get to fill in the question, when a piece of paper is recycled, it, or when a can is recycled, it, and you'll get to fill in that sentence in your journal response page. So listen carefully to learn about the different steps that take place when something is recycled. We're going to learn a lot of factual data and information that will be helpful for you to complete that journal response page. So get cozied up, and the Earth is going to read to you. You ready? Here she comes. Hey guys, missed you. Okay, so check out this picture. I asked an artist to make a picture with these green recycling arrows on top of me. I hope this will help you to remember that recycling is very healthy for good old me. Recycling is so important that I have come back to tell you even more about it, just to make sure that you understand how much good you are doing when you recycle something. The very first step in the recycling process is, instead of throwing recyclable materials away in an ordinary trash can, you must put these things aside and save them in another container like a recycling bin. Yeah, we have those in our classrooms. Once you have saved a lot of things to be recycled, they need to be brought to a place called a recycling center. Sometimes people bring their own recyclables directly to a recycling center. And in this picture, you see several large bins of different colors. I see them all right here. People can bring all the recyclable materials here, but everything has to go in the right place. Glass goes in one bin, cans in another, paper in another, and so on. In some places, though, people do not have to go to the recycling center themselves. Instead, they just set out their recycling bins by the side of the road, just like they set out their garbage can, and a special recycling truck comes by to empty the bins and take the recyclables to the recycling center. Yeah, that's what happens at Mrs. Shivani's house. Oh, I don't know about you, but I think recycling is very interesting. Here is a colorful recycling picture. Can you guess what's being recycled in this picture? Oh, let's see. I see plastic water bottles, See the top? Oh, that looks like a glue stick top, maybe. We see pouch tops. We have a lot of those in my house. I see some more like a milk top. I wonder what that is. What do you guys see? Some interesting stuff. Let's find out more. This is a picture of plastic bottle tops. All of these bottle tops were collected at a recycling center. Then they were taken to a plastic recycling factory where they were pressed together in a big, colorful mishmash. Later, these bottle tops were melted down into a liquid so they could be remolded and turned into something new made of plastic. Look around your house right now and see if you can spot anything made of plastic. I bet you can. Maybe it's even made from recycled plastic. Or maybe it's something you can recycle when you're done using, so it's made into something else. Can you find something? What is in this picture? Look, here are some cans made out of a metal called aluminum. Maybe you have drinks that come in cans like these. If you throw a can away into a trash can and send it off to a landfill, it will take at least 500 years for that aluminum can to break down and decompose. But if you put the same can in a recycling bin instead, the aluminum metal can be reused and the cans don't have to be buried in a landfill. That's good. Let's take a closer look at how cans are recycled. This diagram or drawing shows what happens when you recycle an aluminum can. Aluminum is a natural resource that is mined and dug out of the earth. From there, it goes to a factory where the raw aluminum is made into metal cans that are filled with things, such as soda. After you buy a can of soda and drink it, you are left with an old, used can. You can throw the can in the garbage, but then it will end up in a landfill. A better, more responsible solution is to put the empty can into the recycling bin. I see. So the can comes from the recycling center. Then we use it. Then if we recycle it, it goes back to the recycling center and it gets made into another can. So we keep reusing and recycling, and it happens over and over and over and over and over again. These cans have already been sorted and cleaned at a recycling center, and now at a special recycling factory for aluminum. Workers at the recycling factory crush the cans and melt them down in a big cooker with lots of other cans. Maybe they'll make a new can, and the cycle will begin all over again. The can gets filled with something to eat or drink. Someone uses the can and puts it in a recycling bin. The can is brought to a recycling center and finally a factory, and so on again and again. Whew, that's what we just said. What are these bottles made of? Glass. These bottles are made of glass. If you toss bottles like this in the trash, they would be hauled away to a landfill. Some kinds of glass take about 3,000 years to decompose. Whew, that's a long time. Luckily, many glass items can be recycled instead. At the glass recycling factory, the glass is crushed into little pieces. Crushed glass is then put into a very hot furnace and melted into a super hot glowing liquid. With enough heat, glass melts just like ice melts. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Reminds me of our blacksmith a little bit. This reminds me of the blacksmith. Here is a little piece of glass that has been heated up so much that it is just about to melt and turn to liquid. Now imagine a big pot full of little bits of glass like this, all eventually melting together into a thick, hot, syrupy liquid. That's what you would find at a glass recycling factory. That's cool. That's really cool. This picture shows the inside of a bottle making factory. These are freshly made bottles. They are so hot that you dare not touch them, but they'll be cool and hard again soon. Recycling really isn't that hard to do, but I'll admit that it does require a little bit of extra work. Taking the time to decide whether to throw something away in the garbage can or whether to put it in the recycling bin doesn't always make it to the top of the to-do list. But it really is worth the extra time to take care of good old me. Be sure to ask yourself the next time you use a bottle, a can, or anything else, is this recyclable? Can I conserve natural resources by making it into something useful again? The end. Toodaloo. See you Monday. Hey guys, Mrs. Shivani back again. So, that was an interesting story, wasn't it? So, question. What is recycling? So, when we recycle, instead of throwing something away and having it sent to a landfill, you save it so that it can be recycled and reused to make something new. Can you name some things that you can recycle at your own house? At my house, I tried to recycle things like glass, plastic, cans, paper, boxes. I get a lot of cardboard boxes, and I try to recycle all of those things. What happens when you take the things to a recycling center? This is your journal prompt for the day. When a can is recycled, when a glass is recycled, well, they go to a recycling factory and they get turned into new things to be used again, right? And it helps save good old Earth. Yeah, so I don't know about you, but I try really hard at my house to recycle. And sometimes I get a little lazy and I'll throw something away in the trash can. But I try really, really hard to help take care of the earth because that's our job as humans, right? We have to take care of the planet that we live on. So next week, we are going to read some fun stories that will give us some more ideas of what we can do some more specific ideas of what we can do to take care of the earth. We're going to take a little break from our book stories like this, or from our curriculum stories like this, and we're going to read some fun picture books, which I think you will really enjoy. I'm excited. I found some really good ones. So we're going to take a little break next week and just review the stuff we have talked about, and then next Monday after Easter, we're going to get back to learning about something super interesting called composting, which I know we talked about in KA, and I wonder if you've talked about it in KB or KC. I bet it will be really exciting, and you will get to practice composting at your own houses too. So for today, though, remember to complete your journal prompt on Google Classroom, and if you can't log into Google Classroom, just draw on a piece of paper about what happens when things go to the recycling center. Thanks, guys. Bye. See you Monday.